Herzlich willkommen zurück zum Schamanic Leben Podcast. Mein Name ist Stefan Lenz und das hier ist der Podcast über Persönlichkeitsentwicklung, Bewusstwerdung und schamanisches Praktizieren hier auf der Erde. Und wie du vielleicht schon siehst, bin ich heute nicht zu Hause bei mir irgendwo oder im Garten oder im Wald, sondern an einem ganz besonderen Ort. Und eine Information noch vorab, bevor das Intro hier endet und die Vorstellung, dass dieser Podcast wird auf Englisch stattfinden. Das heißt, ja, wir haben keine simultane Besetzung auf Deutsch oder sowas. Wir sind rein in Englisch. I'm here at the Earth Awareness Center in Teuge in the Netherlands. And right next to me is my guest, Mark. He is the founder of the Earth Awareness Foundation and the builder and architect of this Naturetemple, the Naturetemple, where we're in here right now, and the master of the ceremonies which take place in here. And I say a very warm welcome to you, Mark. I'm very happy that we can do this interview today.
Yeah, it's so nice to have you back here, Stefan. I am really looking forward to our conversation.
Yeah, me too. So, and in the beginning, as always, I invite you to check in into this podcast and into yourself with 3 deep breathings. So you can follow my instruction or do it in your tempo. If you just stop the podcast for the moment and take your time as long as you need. We will take 3 deep breaths in, deep into our belly, then a little bit more up into our chest, and then we will release it with a big noise, if you like or not, and you can feel yourself, you can feel your environment, and check yourself out if you're maybe really looking forward to this podcast or you're excited as I'm right now. Okay, let's start. You can breathe in into your nose or through your mouth, it's up to you. Okay, deep in into your belly, make it a big ball, and then up to your chest, and let it out. Let it out completely, and then for another time, into your belly, up to your chest, completely, and let it out. And another time. Now take a little moment to feel your heartbeat and maybe your feelings that are inside of you. Thank you very much. So now we start, and I think one of the burning questions for my audience when they see this place is, how you start creating a place like this. And maybe we can start with this question in the beginning, if you like, and not just this place, the building itself. How did you get the idea for this center? And what is it? What is it? What the people can? What is it for the people? This place. What can they expect, or what can they have? What would you bring to them with this place? What would you give them?
Yeah, so I hear 3 questions. The first one is how this center, how did it started? And then the second one is what can people find here? So the first one, this center has started with a really deep longing for doing something meaningful with my life, but also to do something in service of humanity and for the nature. So it was 2006 when I started this center, the Earth Awareness Foundation. And before that, I had a long period of searching for the existential questions of myself, like who am I, where am I, what am I doing in life, what is the whole meaning of it. And I have been reading many spiritual books, but there I could not find the answer. And what I noticed that in the forest, that is where I felt home. That is where I felt this deep connection, and also from this dedication that I felt through the nature and through the animals, that I felt like, okay, I want to start a center, an Earth Awareness Center, and I want to help the indigenous people of this world who have maintained their spiritual heritage. I want to share it with my European brothers and sisters, because I noticed that the same like me, there are many of us who are having a lack of a spiritual center, who have a lack of like a tradition of a path that can help them, that can guide them. So that is where I found that there are still some cultures that have been retreating really deep into the Amazon or really deep into the mountains, and they have this spiritual ancient tradition that has been going from 1,000 years to like a shamanic tradition. So in 2006, we started the Earth Awareness Center, and then we have been inviting many different spiritual tradition with plant medicine, and there we have been working with many, many ceremonies, and that was a really intense, beautiful period. So it's like the second question: what can people find here? Yeah, the people that come here is like what we do here is that we are like it is a place. There are a few doors how people can enter. So it's like that some of them, they are lost, and they realize that if they want to change the world, they need to change the way how they look at the world. So it's like that if you want to do something, you need to do your inner engineering. So it's like there are people coming who really feel that there is a need of changing something in their life. There is a crisis going on, and in this crisis that is also the same time the waking up call.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, there are also people who are just curious. They have been reading about psychedelics, and they want to explore higher consciousness. They have been reading that the set and the setting are really important, and then they find us through friends or on the internet, and they see the beautiful temple that we have here, and that it's such a beautiful setting. So then they come to here through that way. And then there are also people who are at a good point in life. They found their road. They found but they do need like an update.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we have quite a lot of participants who come here once a year or maybe once half a year, and it's like that the same as that you need to bring your car to the APK to have a checkup. In that way, also people come here to do retreats and to do ceremonies, to do this inner work, to do this emotional cleansing, to do this mental reset, and to do like this spiritual update. So there are many different people from all walks of life, from different mindsets and different intentions why they come here.
Yeah, thank you. So to go a little bit back, so that's what I thought about when I came here the first time and I saw this beautiful setting. How was it possible to build it up?
Oh.
So I've never seen a building like this before, just in movies or, some pictures, or I'm not sure about is it real or not. And then I've been into this place to see that something beautiful like this is real.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's so nice that you say it, because it's like sometimes we have people who come here and then they are also surprised. It's not photoshopped. It is real.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is like it's a labor of love. It's a labor of a lot of dedication, a lot of devotion, a lot of determination, and also a lot of synchronicity and luck and support of the community that surrounds us. So the whole building of the temple, it took us something like 10 years. We did everything ourselves. We went into the forest. We introduced ourselves to the trees. We asked permission to the trees and to cut them down. So it's like it took us 1 year to get all the different woods to get them here. Then it took us 1 year to get all the bark off. It took us 1 year to cut all the wood into the planks and to send them down, and then we needed to build all the machines and the cranes and all the different tools, and we need to get the finance and the funding. And but this was all on a reaction of that we first had another temple that we built it, and that one burned down. And in the old temple, we had been doing a lot of ceremonies with indigenous tribes and with different plant medicines. That was like a cycle of initiation of 7 years. And that was so intense, so special, and so beautiful. And when that burned down, yeah, we right away, Maya and me, we felt like, but what do we do now? We don't have a place anymore, and everything is gone. But we also felt that, like the energy and the devotional energy by which the place was charged, that the physical appearance was gone, but it's like the energy was still there. So that's why we also decided we want to continue the work of keeping the fire burning. And so in that way we also have been building a new new temple around the fireplace again.
So yeah, you say fire. As the audience can see, we are sitting around the fire, which is a big and important element, right?
Yeah, yeah.
During the ceremonies. And can you tell something about the fire? So it's not just warming us, not just heating us up. What else is it doing for you?
Yeah,
and for
yeah,
the
you could
ceremonies?
say that the fireplace is the oldest temple of humanity. So it's like that the fire, it is going so deep into the subconsciousness of the human being that is like for maybe, I believe, 400,000 years ago, we already were gathering around the fire, and the fire was protecting us, it was giving us warmth, it gave us the possibility to cook. So it is like the whole community, it is organized around the fireplace, and that's also all the ceremonies that our ancestors have been doing. They have been doing it around the fireplace. So that is also that if you're going to work with some ancient traditions, and for example the Huicholes from Mexico, the Wirarica people, is like for them the grandfather fire, it is like a being. So in that way, for us, it is also that if we organize the ceremonies, we all sit around the fire. And the same as the human being is composed out of many different elements. It's like that the water in our blood and the molecules into our body and the air in our breath. There is also something that makes this body of molecules alive. And that is like this sacred spark of divinity. And that spark, that is also what is represented by the fire. So the fire represents like the spiritual aspect of the human being. And in that way, it is also a gateway into the great mystery. So what we do in our ceremonies, that in church they pray to Jesus, and in India they pray to Kali, and in the nature temple we use the fire as a gateway to pray to the great mystery, to help people find their essence inside of themselves.
Yeah. And I feel like to remember.
Yeah.
So what I experienced when I came here first time, I was in a state of don't know what I need in life or what makes me happy or like this. And then in the end of the first ceremony I participated on was I saw this fire and people sitting around them, waking up slowly.
Mhm.
And I was full of love just from seeing that we don't need so much to be happy in life. This is other people. It's food and it's a fire. So for me, it was so clear that you don't just need few things to be happy. And in this world we're living in, we're looking for so many things on the outside, and we're buying so many stuff to try to make us happy. But didn't work for me so for so long. And when I came here first, I'm remembering very often to this situation when I'm unhappy or when I'm looking for what I need to make me feel better. So then I remember, okay, maybe it's time to do a fire outside or
Mhm.
or connecting to other people. So yeah, yeah. For me, it's also like it's a remembering of what we need, the fire. So thanks for your explanation.
Mm.
And
Yeah, it is what you say. It is like the simplicity that you can go outside with friends, make a fire, share stories,
yeah,
make music, sing, sit around the trees, look at the stars. That is like this really primordial animistic experience that if we are living in Western society in the city, that is something that we miss so much, but it is such a big thing of our past. And to remember what it is to be a human being, and to remember and realize that we are part of the sacred web of life, this being outside with the fire is such a beautiful thing, especially if you are with people where you feel this connection with.
yeah. And I really like to light up a fire. So
Mm.
and even especially in the cold season, I have a fireplace in my home, and I really like to light it up in the morning, to just listen into it or to have a look in it. So I really like staring into the fire.
Mm.
That's also a nice thing to do during the ceremony. I experienced. So it's a very alive thing. Can shows you a lot, I think, the fire, and can make you feel a lot.
Yeah,
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 and it
yeah.
can light up your own fire
Hmm.
inside.
Yeah, that is also one of the intentions of the Earth Awareness Center, is that it is like an initiation center where we transmit like this sacred spark.
Mm.
And that is also, if you look throughout history of humanity, you look at all these different traditions, there were also always like these keepers of the sacred flame.
Mhm.
There were like the keepers of the sacred songs. There were the keepers of the masters of the ceremonies. And that is what I also see now in the whole field of psychedelics and shamanism, and that there is like this new awakening of this deep longing for like a new tradition or a new culture, or remembering or where we come from, and
Yeah,
how to be one human tribe again, and to the fire can be really supportive in that.
yeah. Before we come to the psychedelic part, when I got that right, you in the first temple you invited different shamanic traditions from all
Hmm.
around the world to this place here,
Yeah.
and that's where you learned it from. What you're doing now, Or you- do you following one special specific ritual, or you meshed it all up? What's when you found out what works best for you and for the people, or how did you do it to create a like ritual environment for the people?
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
the basis of the ceremony.
Hmm.
Where did you get that from, or
Yeah, so it's like the first part when we started here, it was in 2006, and that was
yeah?
quite psychedelic ceremonies. They were really underground. There were not so many people busy with it, and this was one of the place in Holland where it was possible. So there was also not such a big scene of it. So already quite fast, this place became quite well known. So it's like if there were indigenous wisdom keepers who would travel to Holland, then also I would get a phone call. Hi Mark, how about the third weekend of July? Do you
Yeah.
still have a spot? So in that way, through the years there were quite some collaborations that we had and exchanges. So we did a lot of work with the Juar from Ecuador, and they work with the Natem, with the sacred ayahuasca, and we worked a lot with the peyote also from the Virarica from Mexico,
Mhm.
and the Shipibo from Peru, and so and so. So we work with all these different plant teachers, and that is what I learned from myself, is that there is this really big longing to get like a direction, to get like some point of reference outside of yourself. And I can imagine that if you would stick into one tradition, then that can be like a really strong foundation. But in this situation, it was a little bit different. I was like a young guy. I was 28 when I started the center, and by doing like almost every weekend doing the ceremonies with all these different shamans, it also was really confusing, because that is what I noticed, that it's like what for one person is sacred and is like an absolute rule, for the other person is completely the other way around. And that is what I learned, is that what is the most important thing is to see the medicine as a tool. And it is important, it's like the same as a guitar, that maybe I use the medicine is that I will play maybe I will play Spanish music on the guitar, or maybe rainbow songs. But if you play the guitar, maybe you would play Rammstein or Metallica on it. And in that way, it's also like with the medicine, that all these different wisdom keepers, they come from a lineage and they have certain customs. There is a structure into it, but they also have their own way how to interpretate it. And that is like one element. And then there's also the element on when these traditions, when they come to Europe, it is also sometimes it is like customized, because for example the ayahuasca in the old days, it was not that the shaman would drink ayahuasca, so he could view into the client, or into to what was the cause of the illness, and it was not that the participants also drank. So it's like, if I look at my own path, we've been working with many different tribes for many different years, and what I noticed is that there were certain things that I really loved, and there were certain things that I really missed. And it's like, one, that there can be like a barrier between language.
Yeah.
That if you cannot understand somebody, what they are saying or what they are chanting, then it is really mesmerizing for the for the imaginary mind, what they are singing and what they are chanting. But it also keeps like this big question mark. So it's like, what we do with our ceremonies, we try to be like a bridge. So it's like we bridge these ancient practices, these ancient traditions, these ancient habits, but we also translate it in a way that it feels natural and authentic for us. So we don't try to copy something that is from another culture, but it is important that if you do a ceremony, that you are not only doing it on the way how it looks on the outside, but that it really comes from the inside.
Yeah.
So in that way, we also practice many years with our own ceremonies for ourselves. And that is also, it's like in ancient tradition, that is also how that works, is that first you go into ceremonies maybe 2, 3, 4 years yourself, you do 50 ceremonies, and then you do 4, 5 years, you help supporting in the ceremonies by doing the fire, by cleaning the vomiting buckets, by being a musician. And then if you also do that 100, 200 times, then when the situation is there, then maybe life will open up that the time is right for you to start your own ceremonies. And that is also a little bit how it worked with us. We worked for 7 years in the old temple to facilitate and to help organize the ceremonies with the indigenous tribes. But then when the old temple burned down, for us it was really clear that we were at the point to open a new path. And that part was also that brought us back to the mushrooms, because the mushrooms, they are from our own land, and that is also what resonates most with us.
Yeah. So, and it's what I hear is that you found the essence of these rituals and of these traditions, so that it comes from the inside, not from doing just these things other people are doing in other cultures. So that's what I say to my audience when I talk about shamanic rituals or something, that they can feel free to do whatever they want. The intention is from inside. So what you want to do, you can use tools like smoking or whatever, but you don't have to do steps. You don't have to follow steps. Then it becomes maybe not that powerful. So, but when you feel the whole process, and then you can, it liberates you from holding on something traditional. That's what I feel what you're doing. you have all these tools, you learned about all these tools, but you're free in doing it, and maybe change some things, how uh, to the way that you feel it's better to the people, or for you, or to make it more powerful or whatever. So, and that's also what I experienced. So that it makes this place very safe.
Mm-hmm.
What I feel. Um, it's like you talked about this energy from the burnt down temple before and this new one here. So I feel like this safe and powerful energy is here. So as I told you, when I came up this way and saw the dome, I already started
Mm.
smiling and remembering all this beautiful experience I've had here, and I feel now very safe here. And yeah, so now we talked a little bit about what's around that, and a little bit of how you organize the, or where you get your skills from, or another important thing is for me is that you're doing music in here.
Mm.
So which I really very much like, that it's you play live.
Mm-hmm.
So um, I once was on a retreat and they had it from music from loudspeakers,
Yeah.
and when I came here first and you played live music, it was a very different experience, I feel. So what would you say? What does live music doing how does it affect the people during the ceremony? So I'm very interested into music. That's why that's why I'm asking the question. And I think you too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe you can tell me something about this.
Yeah, yeah. I think one of the things that is quite specific to the ceremonies that we organize is that we have participants. So it's like we do the ceremony, we all do it together, but we have different roles to play. And one way how to continue the continuation of the flowing of the river of the energy of the ceremony, it is through music, but it is also through chanting and through praying. So for us, it is that we have all these different musical instruments. That's also when we open the ceremony,
Mhm.
we do it together
Mhm.
with everybody. With everybody who has an instrument, and with everybody, we're gonna make music, and in that way, we're gonna set the energy together to open the circle. And then also, when we're gonna sing together to open up. So that is for us. That is one of the things that we learned. What we found really important is that, for example, that it's not like organized and structured in a pyramid. That there is like one shaman or one leader or one priest or whatever who is like the on top of it all, but that we do it in a circle. And that is also in indigenous tribes. It is like you do it together, but the people with the most experience, they lead it.
Mhm.
So it's like they can steer it, and that is also music can be a tool to make sure that we can balance the energy of the group.
Mm.
So it's like
Mhm.
on the moment when everybody it becomes too it goes too much down. Yeah, then you can drum a little bit to give the spirit a little
Mhm.
bit more higher. Or if it becomes really heavy and you take like a flute, you know, the
Yeah.
you can cheer it up. So in that way, it's like that the music and the singing, it is a way how to channelize the energy and also to let other people resonate in it.
Mhm.
So that is like that. Sometimes, if you are into the medicine journey, you can go into quite difficult experiences where you feel that you get into the mud. But then, if there is other music, and that is especially also with singing, and that if it is about topics about releasing and reloading and remembering and empowering and the unity and the connection, that it can it can help us to hook onto it. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think also that is like the primordial mind, that the drumming, it is like something so ancient that even people who have never done it before, if they sit in the circle around the fire, and there is like the hand drums, they are there, and there is the chanting, then people can, yeah, some ancient memory that is in yourself, that is like awakened.
Yeah. You know what? I'm getting very excited if you're talking about this because I feel your fire talking about this in your heart. So that's what I felt when I came first here, right in the beginning. So that reminds me of
Mm.
some more heavy situations and when music changes, um, how the effect was.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, maybe we can come to the mushrooms themselves. So you say you're using mushrooms from here. What kind of mushrooms are they? I've never talked about mushrooms to my audience,
Okay.
which I wanted to do, um, but I think this is now the best place to talk about the mushrooms and talk about mushrooms the first times to my audience. So because you know them so well and have a lot of experience. So and I come back to the questions: what kind of mushrooms are they? I think a lot of people know these normal looking cubensis
Yeah.
mushrooms
The
with a
Mexican
hut
one. Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
stick. So that's not the ones you're using.
No, we are using the truffles.
Yeah, and they also they have the psilocybin inside, and that's what it's about with this with the why you can use also truffles, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not just the mushrooms everybody knows.
Yeah.
So and what is more important to talk about is I know there are a lot of people are interested in taking mushrooms or doing this experience
Mm-hmm.
for the first time, but there are a lot of fears and concerns about that.
Mm-hmm.
What is your experience? What are the most fears and concerns about taking mushrooms the first time? Can you tell what it is?
Yeah, yeah. It is in. It's like you come to set and setting. Those are quite important. So it is really to be aware of the place where you are doing it, and also with the mindset from which you are start. So it's like, do you have a good preparation? And that can be like the diet that you use, that you don't drink alcohol, that you have light food, that you have an empty stomach, that you have like 1 day of rest before, that you have 1 day rest behind, that you don't have a lot of things opening up, that you have a clean house. And yeah, what is also really important, that if so that you feel safe.
Yeah.
So on the moment when you take mushrooms, there is still, you are taking a leap of faith into the unknown, and that is quite scary. So it's like there is this anxiety already natural related to mushrooms. Then there are also quite a lot of scary stories around it. That many bad things can happen. So it is already important that if you prepare, that you are building a relationship of trust, that you trust that you are capable of dealing with situation. And it's also important to be honest to yourself. So it's like, if you have been doing it many times before, then maybe you can do it by yourself. But if you never have done it before, then make sure you don't do it by yourself, and you don't take like a really full dose, but
Mhm.
that you start slowly. So this trust, that is really important, because on the moment when the mushrooms kick in, you need to surrender. And it's like, if you don't feel safe and you don't trust, then fear comes in and you cannot surrender. So it's like, on the moment when you did like really good preparation, and that means that you do it with a lot of respect and integrity, then most of the times the mushrooms, they are quite playful. They can be really honest, they can be really direct, they can be really overwhelming. But if it is done with a good heart, then and you also have the time to integrate it, because that is also really important. So it's like, if you do it, then make sure that there is somebody with you, or you go to a retreat center, and also that you have the days afterwards, that you have like a practice on how to integrate the experience, that maybe you have like a social network on where you can speak about it, or you can go into nature, or you write poems, or you make music, or yeah, you're gonna clean your house. It is important that you realize that doing mushrooms, it's not about eating the mushrooms and having have like a really sensational, intense experience for 6 hours. It is about realizing that you have like a minimum of 3 days of preparation. Then you have the day of your experience, and then you have a 3 day of integration coming down, and then you could say you have a period of 3 months of the last echo of the experience that is echoing in you. So it is important to be really aware that they can be profound mind or life-changing substances, and this life-changing can be on many different levels.
Yeah. So it's a longer journey than maybe most of the people thinking it is.
Realize, yeah.
Realize it's
yeah.
not just taking it for one for a day or for some hours, and then it's the effect is away. It's lasting longer, right?
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. Yeah, it's like sometimes we have that if people subscribe to us already 2 months before, that on the moment when they subscribe and they sign in, then already it starts to work. And maybe in the beginning they get really enthusiastic about it, like, yes, I'm going to do it finally. I've been reading so much about it. And then on a certain moment hesitation comes. And then fear comes, and then doubt comes, and then then maybe they want to. Why did I want to do this? And maybe I should cancel it. And then, and that is also, I think, one of the beautiful things is that you're gonna be tested. So it's like you're gonna be tested to be determined. You're gonna be tested if you can surrender to fate, because that is also that one of the effects of the mushrooms is that like your identity of self, that it can dissolve, and in that way it is also possible that is like that you get this experience of oneness, of being one with the world around you. But before that the ego needs to step away, and that is also, it's like in this whole preparation that is you need to be aware of that.
So as you said, a period of time before or after registrate to take part here, the people are struggling sometimes. To me, it sounds a little bit like the spirit of this of the mushrooms already on your side. Would you say it like this?
No, I think that the experience of the mushrooms, it is like a mirror, and in that way you could say that is like that the it is scanning you already. So it's like that doubt or fear. It is what is like what the mushrooms do is that is like our consciousness, it's only the top of the iceberg. So it's like our subconsciousness is the biggest part of it, and the mushrooms, they are like this key of this door between those two realms. They are like the key between doors. And so on a subconscious level you already have some clues on maybe if it's going to be really confronting. Maybe the experience is going to be about the bad relationship that you had with your parents, or maybe it's about suppressed emotions that you have, or maybe it's about that you know that you should deal different on certain topics on life. So it can be quite confronting.
Yeah. So it's a little bit like oracle before what you can expect. So if you have a lot of fear and maybe you're overthinking your your choice to come here, you think so or not? Or maybe it might be a total different experience than just this. You let out, if you can maybe let out all your fear before in the time when it comes up.
Yeah. It is for everybody. It is completely different. One of the beautiful things of the psychedelic experience is that you cannot pinpoint it. You can have like a really good preparation and think that you are beyond fear or beyond doubt, and that you are in complete bliss. But then you can be a quite overwhelming experience. And on the other hand, it also can be that maybe you fear the worst, but it was the most blissful experience that you have. So it is not that it is really strict, but in general, you can say that what you put into it, you will get out of it. And that is also, it
Mm-hmm.
is depending on why people enter. Because like on the moment when you are entering because you want to travel the realms of consciousness and you're just curious, that is completely different than when you are 40 years old and you are stuck in life and you're at a crossroad and you
Yeah.
cannot find the answer anymore and you need to break something open. So that is also, it is the intention why people come here. That is also a lot of times there is a relation on the type of journey that they have.
Yeah. And now I had something in my mind, but
Mm.
no, it's went up. Um, w- is it? No, it. I wanted to ask you something about surrender during heavy moments, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So what I experienced once was that I turned into uncomfortable feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned it physically. I felt it like
Yeah.
it did. And would you say that if you're once starting being okay with that, you can let loose, you can surrender
Yeah,
deeper into your experience, and then maybe blissful moments are coming up.
yeah, being comfortable with being uncomfortable. That is one
Yeah.
part. Yeah, it is that being a human being. It's about joy, happiness, but it's also about sadness and anger, and it's like it's about summer and it's about winter, and so there is no way how to escape that. There is no way to run away from it, and that's also a lot of people who participate in ceremonies is also it's about shadow work. So it is like about going into the hidden aspects of your being and integrating them into your personality. So that is also the way how to enter darkness is the best to go there if you have your beacon of light,
Hmm.
if you have your beacon of hope and of trust, and then you go there. But sometimes there is no way how to escape from it, that is going to be too overwhelming. But one of the beautiful things that can be born there, because in order to be reborn, we first must die, and to face death before dying, we can find a true reason for living. So that
Hmm.
is like sometimes it's like the psychedelic journey. We will be torn apart, and it's like our bones will be eaten by the spirits of the four directions, and we feel that we are completely turned inside out. But in that also lies a great possibility for a second chance. So that mm, there is no running away from fear. There is no running away from your own shadow. And I think it's like the best way how to enter into it is to never invite it, but if it wants to come, it is welcome. And that's why this preparation is also important, that on the moment when you have this trust in yourself and you have this integrity, or you also have this honesty, that you say, I want to do mushrooms, but I feel really insecure. I feel that I have a really heavy work to do, so maybe I should do it in a professional setting.
Yeah.
For example,
Yeah.
that I should go somewhere, that if things get really, if it becomes a really bumpy ride, that there are people who can support me in that. So the role of fear is that, we always suggest that it's like the shadow, the further we go away from it, the bigger it gets, and the more we walk towards it, the smaller it gets.
Hmm.
It's a little bit, if you have the light like the zenith, it's like the light
Yeah.
is point straight. There is no shadow.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's what we're used to it to run away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, during daily life,
Yeah.
if you don't feel good, we try to consume something or doing something to not feel it. And when you're here, you're good with it when you not try to run away.
Yeah, it's like once you are into the mushrooms, there is no way to run.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
no possibility to run away from it. And I think that is also one of the core gifts that the mushrooms can teach us is to they make us humble.
Mhm.
Because it's like that on the moment when we the it's like if the higher self wants to be reborn, then the ego must die, or at least it needs to know its place. And I think that on the moment when we have a really powerful psychedelic experience, it makes us so humble. It realizes that we know so little. It makes us feel so small. And I think this humbleness, that is also the gateway into our own greatness.
Yeah.
So in that way, also that a lot of times in the most difficult experiences, there lies the most meaningful and valuable lessons.
I really like listening to you when you're talking about these things.
Mm.
I can sit for a long time here and asking you questions about it. So, yeah, that's also what I experienced. These are big teachings for your life after a ceremony.
Mhm.
So, can help you behave in another way with struggles in your life, and by remembering what it just needs to surrender or to let loose. Yeah, and what I also liked is the community of people here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
not just from you facilitators, but the people who also
Mhm.
participate here. And yeah, can you tell me something about your experiences with a bigger group coming together and doing this, and what happens to these groups?
Yeah, it's like doing it together with other people. It is like an integral part of the experience because it's like on the moment when you do it yourself, and we are already in such an individualistic society where everybody needs to find the answers on their own questions, and everybody needs to figure it out themselves. But it's like for the most questions and the most reasons why people join into this circle is that they are sooner or later they are all the same.
Mhm.
So it's like that maybe you people come here because they are struggling with letting go, or maybe they are struggling with finding forgiveness and they have a lot of resentment or grief, or other people who feel a little bit lost and they need to find a new vision. And one of the beautiful things is that, and that is also this, for example, if we sit in a circle and we open up and there are people who can express that they feel a little bit anxiety. They find it a little bit scary to open up and they share their intentions, why they are here. Then we can find so much recognition in each other.
Mhm.
And one of the beautiful things, especially, is like that if we have been doing the work that after the ceremony, when we do the sharings, and that we have been crying together, laughing
Mhm.
together,
Yeah.
screaming together, sleeping together. You know, it's like that all these different things that normally you only share it maybe with your family or with your loved one, that this realization that we are all the same,
Yeah.
that we are all searching for the same things, that it doesn't matter if you come from Russia or Ukraine or America, that if you are like a Palestinian or if you are from Israel, it's like we are all human beings, and we are all searching for the same things. And I think it's like that this unity and this connection and this remembrance that we experience in this universal field of love and compassion and truthfulness, I think that is like the real reason why we have built this temple. That is the real reason why people come to this ceremony, because there is like the same. We need to feed our body,
Mhm.
you know, and we also need to feed our mind, but we also need to feed our soul. And where do you find nutrition for your soul? You know, you don't find it in a library, you don't find it. And it's like that, to be in a sacred ceremony with people who have the intention to open up and to face what they need to face, to have like this really big longing to be an honest, loving human being, to do what they can to help the world and to help the nature. And I think like that, this connection and this recognition that we feel when all the masks are put down, when there is no thing that we need to, it's like when we can share the back of our tongue, you know, our biggest fear or our biggest secrets. It's like if in this circle everything is welcome, the light and the dark. And I think it's like that, this connection, this feed, this food for our soul, this is the most valuable thing, and we can create it together.
Yeah. So that's also an experience that I can share.
Yeah.
So it's sacred to talk in these sharing sessions.
Yeah.
To listen to all the stories of the people, and the feeling when we start getting to know each other, when we all come here, is totally different than when we leave. Most of the people wanted to stay, wanted to hold up connection or whatever, and share totally different things than they shared before. It's more from the mind in the beginning, and more from the heart afterwards. So I really love that. So
it's like we come as strangers and we leave as lovers.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's very true. So yeah, I really enjoy sitting here next to the fire still, and I think we talked a lot, and I think my audience really knows you now a little bit more better than you can maybe show yourself on. I don't know where you have online. How do you say? You may Instagram or on your website. So I think doing a talk to each other about these things is more deeper than just reading about it. So I really like reading about it when I come before, but so I really love to have a talk, because I mean, when I decide to go to a ceremony like this, but but maybe the first or the second one, I really try to figure out who these guys are and am I really safe here? But I think now we've shown that you're really professional and really working with a lot of experience and with heart and fire. So that's what I'm into. It's better than reading on the website, but you do have a website, and if somebody of you wants to be here, you can go on a website. We're putting on a link down here.
We have a website.
Yeah. And thank you very much. I really enjoyed it. And I'm grateful to be here again with you. And I will say goodbye.
Thank you so much for being here, Stefan.
Thank you for sharing all your experiences, where you started and where you're now. I think to know this is very important too, to feel safe to come here. And maybe we see us next year.
Yeah. Tell.
Bye bye.
Aho.
Aho. Und für alle nochmal auf Deutsch ist das Ende. Ich hoffe, euch hat die Folge gut gefallen, auch wenn sie auf Englisch war. Aber ich glaube, das hat nicht so viel Auswirkung auf irgendwie eine gute Erfahrung hier in dem Podcast, oder auch, dass ihr irgendwie, weil mein Podcast sonst deutschsprachig ist, vielleicht nicht so klar gekommen seid. Ich denke, das wird funktionieren. Die Retreats hier sind alle auf Englisch, von daher, wer hier schon mal mitmachen möchte, hat schon mal einen kleinen Vorgeschmack darauf, dass es auf jeden Fall auf Englisch sein wird. Auch wenn hier Deutsch verstanden wird und auch einige andere Sprachen, so wie ich mitgekriegt habe. Also vielen Dank fürs Zuhören. Ich hoffe, es war mal wieder schön, ein bisschen eine andere Art von Podcast-Folge zu hören, als nur mich zu sehen. Und ich freue mich schon, wenn du das nächste Mal wieder dabei bist. Bis dann.